What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 36, and we start today's episode off against Everton. Here we come to Goodison Park. Now, of course, we've only lost one game so far in the league. That was to the other Merseyside team, Liverpool. Of course, that was at home. But so I was feeling very confident. But of course, we do have to rest a few players, of course, after that midweek fixture. So yeah, it's very hard, having to keep rotating the side every single time. But even so, I've been reading your comments. I've been reading a lot of your comments lately. So thank you very much for all the comments. I try and read all of them, but sometimes I can only read most of them, but I do my best. And a couple of you have been saying that when I'm changing the team, I can press triangle. I think it was triangle they said. I'm not sure what button it was, and I can just look at the players that are similar to that position, and it saves me time just scrolling up and down the team. Thank you, I appreciate the tip, but the reason I'm not going to do it is because sometimes I like to play players a little bit out of position, so maybe play a winger like Pilkington, who's got some good passing stats, maybe play him inside. So it's not only that as well. I like going up and down the team because you can constantly get a look at the players' overalls and what other options I could choose between. And I appreciate what you're trying to do, and I appreciate it would save me time, but I'd rather just scroll like I do now to show the entire side, because I don't know, it's just one of those things. It's one of those little trivial things I prefer to do. I like to try and show as much as possible. So yeah, I appreciate the comment, but that's why I don't do it. I appreciate the tip. It's very nice of you. If you have any tips for me, you're welcome to leave them in the comments. But that's why I don't do them, and that's why I like scrolling through the entire team. But anyway, we took on Everton for the first game of the episode, and Everton did have the first chance in the 13th minute. I'm not sure who it was got played through, but it was a good save by Jack Butland to keep the score at 0-0. And in the 31st minute, Ross Barkley, against his former club here, has a really good chance he takes aim, but it's a good block by the defender. And Anthony, again, another comment I've been reading. A few of you, I did mention it a few episodes ago, how you pronounce Martial or Martial. It's so weird. Like, so many people think I'm saying it right, and it's Martial, putting emphasis on the S. Some people think I should say Martial like that, so Martial like that, and then a few people say I should pronounce it as Martial. So I'm not sure, is there an official pronunciation? I'm going to call him Martial for now, because that was the one that got the most comments, but I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce it. If I'm completely wrong and I'm dead wrong and everyone hates me for it, then I'm sorry, but because so many people seem to have it different, pronounce it differently, I'm just going to call it Martial, because that was how most people pronounced it the first time. So there you go. But in the 46th minute, Gary Hooper got played through here, and how about this? Tim Howard tips the ball up in the air and ends up carrying it over his line. That was absolutely hilarious there. Hooper gets the goal. It was really, really weird, because when he tipped the ball in the air, I thought that's not going to go over the bar, because usually that animation, the goalkeeper pushes it way too high up and it goes over the bar. This time it just looped up and it didn't have any kind of power on it, and it just looped under the bar, and Howard carried it over. So it was a definite goal. As I saw in the replay, just wanted to confirm it was a definite goal. Hooper got credited with the goal, and he carried it over, and as you can see here, Martial and two defenders went in with him, and as you can see, Howard was definitely over the line. So it was given, and rightfully so. So we took the lead on the stroke of half time to make it Everton 0, Norwich 1, and in the 68th minute we had another good chance here. Gary Hooper rolls the ball through to Leroy Fer. What a run that was, and he unfortunately hits the post, and Everton managed to get the ball away. So still 1-0 here, and in the 74th minute Everton had their best chance of the second half when Darren Gibson collected it, and the former Manchester United midfielder found Kone from Wigan. His shot was well saved by Jack Butland, however, and the score remained at 1-0 to us. But from the resulting corner, the Belgian winger Kevin Morales eventually crosses the ball in towards Alcaraz. His header is well saved by Jack Butland, who keeps the score at 1-0. He was playing very well. Throws the ball out to Andros Townsend here. Townsend gives it to Yaya Sanogo off the bench. Sanogo releases his French colleague Martial down the left-hand side here, gives it to Andros Townsend, who crosses it in back to Martial. His header is well saved by Tim Howard, and the score remains at 1-0. However, in the 79th minute, Chris Smalling loses out to Robert Snodgrass here, one of our former teammates. Snodgrass finds Oviedo, who plays it back to Morales here. Morales finds Leighton Baines. Baines finds Snodgrass, and our former midfielder puts the ball just wide of the post. So still 1-0. However, in the 83rd minute, Kevin Morales collects the ball here and gives it to Velios. Velios gets past Basong, rolls the ball through to Aruna Kone. What a great ball that was, and the former Wigan striker makes it 1-1. So with 6 minutes to go, we were in front, however we couldn't hold on, and Everton managed to get themselves an equalising goal. So it was very, very frustrating, because we played really well. We deserved to get the 3 points, but just a little bit of lack of concentration. It was a great ball through, but a little bit of lack of concentration, and I guess we had to take the blame for not taking our chances. But yeah, 1-1 was the final score, and sadly we had to take a draw and not all 3 points. But the following game was against Stoke. Stoke City come to Carrow Road here. It was a midweek fixture. Of course, like I say, we're playing like, you know, one weekend game, and then we're playing like a minimum of one midweek game as well. So as you can see, stamina is being a real problem at the moment. However, fortunately for us, straight after this we had an international break, and because there's only like one or two of our players that get selected for their international nations on a regular basis, it means that we don't need to worry about it too much. They can get their stamina back. So we did rest a few players. A few players did get dropped to the bench and put in the reserves, but the majority of the team remained on the field. So it's just so frustrating. I mean, we've got a good enough squad to, you know, got a good enough squad to cope with having to play midweek fixtures every week, but it's still very frustrating when you see some of your first team players going to light green when you're still playing important fixtures. So taking on Stoke, we did make a couple of changes, but as I said there, we did also have the majority of the first team playing because I knew the international break would work in our favour and they could regain their fitness back. But here's a look at the league table real quick. We're currently sitting in 8th, I think it was, or 8th or 6th, so we're doing okay. It's been a really decent start. It's the start to be expected, you know. I mean, we want to push on, of course, and try and qualify for the Champions League, but it's to be expected, this start, and you know, hopefully we can regain our winning mentality from the start of the season again and push on and get a few more wins under our belt. But we took on Stoke here, and in the 13th minute they had the first chance. Jermaine Pennant took a shot, but his shot hit the post, so the former Liverpool winger couldn't make it 1-0 to Stoke. But Stoke were all over us for the first 20 minutes. They really were. And in the 20th minute, when Shawcross found Wilson, Cameron Jerome rolled it through to Matthew Errington, and his cross deflected off Olsen and ended up being carried over the line by my left back. So that was really frustrating. It was a bit of a comical own goal there. It was my fault. I didn't react quick enough and tap circle or square, but as you can see, I tapped square but not fast enough, and sadly the ball ended up crossing the line. So 1-0 to Stoke, own goal from Olsen, and in the 44th minute Stoke came forward once again. Jerome with a volley, good save by Jack Butland to keep the score at 1-0 and stop his former club from getting a second goal. So, you know, Butland was keeping us in the game here, and it was all Stoke, it really was. However, from that Butland save, we came up the pitch. Gary Hooper collects it down the right hand side, skips past Peters, takes aim with his left foot, but unfortunately drags his shot wide of the post. So still 1-0. However, in the 59th minute, it was Stoke once again coming forward. They were playing really well. Cameron Jerome comes through, gives it to Maurice Edu here, and the American puts his shot just wide of the post. So no goal for the former Rangers man. Still 1-0. However, in the 70th minute, we only had our second chance of the game when Johnny Howson collected the ball here, went down the left hand side, nice reverse step over, took aim on the shot, but it was a good save by the goalkeeper to keep the score at 1-0 to Stoke. But we brought in a double substitution here. Townsend and Marshall came on for us, for Chambers, and who was it? Who came off? Was it Sharp? I think it might have been Sharp. Yeah, it was Sharp. So still 1-0, but from the goal kick here, he goes all the way to Dale Jennings, who I had playing it right back at this stage, who gives it to Olsen. Olsen plays the ball in inside to Leroy Fur. Fur rolls it through to Johnny Howson here. Howson comes down left-hand side, finds Gary Hooper. Hooper rolls it through to Andros Townsend, and his first touch is to set up his substitute partner for his first touch. He makes it 1-1. So Martial and Townsend get the goals there, and it was their first touches in the game. So, I mean, you can't ask for much more than that, can you? So Townsend and Martial link up there. Their first chances result in a goal, and it's the equalising goal, which means the game finishes 1-1. So, I mean, I was glad to get a point after Stoke completely dominated us for 90 minutes, but even so, it was just funny that I brought on those subs and their first touches resulted in the goal. So 1-1 the final score, and then we get this: Bissong rumoured to be unsettled. Very frustrating here, because he is our captain. He's a very decent centre-back, so it looks as though Bissong is unsettled and maybe on his way out of the club in January. And as I said there, we did have some international friendlies, so here they are. We take on Czech Republic for the first game away from home, and we end up drawing this game 1-1. So 1-1 during our first international friendly, and we also got an injury for the guy who the centre back, who I can't pronounce. And then we get another piece of media speculation saying Bissong is still unsettled and still wants to leave the club. It's all hearsay at the moment, but I'm not very happy about it. So Bissong's still miserable, and then our second international friendly is against Greece, which we go ahead and take all the 3 points. So as always, guys, a big thank you for watching today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you have, please leave a like, that's much appreciated. It really does help my channel out, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode tomorrow afternoon.